why did Turkey become so expensive for tourists? Because yes, locals earning Turkish lira have been hit the hardest from the beginning of all this because their money lost value, but even tourists with strong dollar are seeing it too. So why is that? Well, that's because Turkey isn't cheap to run anymore. We live in a global economy. When the Turkish lira crashed, the cost of imported goods like gas, food, medicine, and car parts went up a lot. And since Turkey buys many of these things from other countries using dollars or euros, Turkish companies had to raise their prices in lira and in dollars. Also, with inflation so high, even hotels, restaurants, and tour operators keep adjusting prices upward just to survive. That means tourists don't get the same cheap deal they used to. So while the exchange rate might look good, prices inside Turkey have gone up even faster. And that's why even with US dollars, Turkey doesn't feel cheap anymore. So now let's talk about housing for locals, one of the hardest hit areas. In 2020, you could rent a decent flat in Istanbul for 2,000 to 3,000 lira, but now that same flat can cost 15,000 lira or more.
For a month's salary, you can pay only rent.
Why? Wealthy foreigners started buying Turkish property because it was cheap in dollars or euros. Domestic investors bought real estate as a hedge against inflation, and the government encouraged property purchases for citizenship programs, especially by Gulf and Russian buyers. But for everyday Turks, many were priced out of their own cities. This wasn't just about economics, it was also political. President Erdogan's government has fired multiple central bank governors who disagreed with his policies and tried to control monetary policy directly from the presidency. And each removal triggered sharp drops in the lira and the stock market, and that fueled investor anxiety over the independence of the central bank. International investors lost trust. In 2021, foreign direct investment dropped by 38% compared to 2015. And by 2023, major rating agencies had downgraded Turkey's debt to junk status. The country looked risky, the lira kept falling, and confidence kept falling. This is where it really hurts regular people.